Hey guys, welcome back to Angel Angela. And on this topic, you guys, we are going to be talking about the narcissist, why the narcissist cries. Why do the narcissists that in your life, why do they cry? Why do they portray to be victims? Why is it that they victimize themselves so much that you even start to question your own truth, your own reality? You start to question maybe you did do something wrong, or maybe this person isn't as bad, or maybe they just have a certain way of dealing with things. So you just have to keep being solid, keep being loyal, keep being the one to forgive, and believing that by showing these principalities, it would prove to these people that, hey, I'm not as bad as you think either. And in reality, this person has gaslit you to believe that you have to question your reality. Why does a narcissist cry? Why do they express emotions to others after they've been so cruel to you? Why do they play the victim? Why do they tell stories of their reality and switch it and flip it and turn things to where it almost seems as if you're the narcissist, or you're the person that is antagonizing them? The simple answer to that is that they want to have stories to tell, and all these stories are planned to be against you, and it's part of their master plan. And not only do they do that to the people around them, but they do it to you as well. The narcissist tells stories. They're storytellers, like I've told you guys before in past videos. The narcissist can be telling you about their day at work, and they're really only giving you half the story, and they're not telling you, what's really going on. And they might seem like they're stressed out, or they might seem like they're overwhelmed. This is where they have that crybaby, victimized, they might not even really be crying, but it's like they seem vulnerable or they seem upset. And in moments like that, where you're giving them advice, you have to understand that most of the time, I know, as realistic as it seems, as much as it seems like they're your best friend, they're your companion, they're your partners, and they're trying to bond with you, or they're bonding with you, as much as it seems that way, very believable. And on top of that, there's no reason for them to lie to you, really, but they have to plant these seeds because they're someone else. They're wearing a mask. They're not who you think they are. But it seems as if, well, why would someone pretend to be someone else when I'm looking at you? You look like a human being. You look like me. You're making all these expressions and you're around me, but why are you doing these things for? They always have a plan and things that they're really doing. They have a whole another persona, around you. They might seem quiet. They might seem as if, they might seem as if they know everything. They're smarter than you, and they might, throw things at you like, hey, you're book smart, or you don't know anything. But the whole purpose of them being with you is to have this this demeanor where they're superior to you, where they literally will tell you, I'm here, you're here, try to belittle you. And, and anytime you show, a sense of happiness or you're just excited about life, they might shut those things down. And behind closed doors, their true self is a very unpredictable person, as you can see, but their true self is doing all these things behind your back. They're being spontaneous. They're being talkative, although they tell you they're not talkative, or they tell you they're private people. The narcissist is always trying to make connections. They're always spying on people. They're always stalking people. They're always befriending people. They're always making sure they have connections with people. And as much as, some people say, well, this person spends a lot of time with me and things like that, I'm sure they spend a lot of time on their phones. It's kind of like kids not having to go play outside anymore. They can play on their video games at home. And they can communicate with their friends, and they can still get that interaction where they're getting fuel, they're getting energy from friendships. And that's how the narcissist is. They're like a big kid making connections where it fuels them with enough supply until they go out and they take their time to kill their prey. Because narcissists are predators. They're like possums playing dead in the middle of the street. They're acting. They're acting, you guys. And a lot of times when you see them get emotional, or, it seems like, they might have a story to tell you about something personal in their life. Maybe someone in their family is sick, or something happened, or, or they had to take a loss or something. A lot of times in those moments where you see them upset, and you might see them crying, or, you might think to yourself, wow, this person's really hurt about their parent or someone being in the hospital. You might really think that. But being around the narcissist and seeing their anger and seeing how manipulative they've been, and seeing how when you're the one that's crying, or you're the one that needs empathy, knowing that they never show you these things, you as an empath still want to give love to that person, because you hurt when you see people upset. Especially in that way, it might make you feel just bad. Just watching someone cry, it might make you feel, sad, and you have empathy for that person. You wish that there's nothing you can personally do to change that besides listening, but you hope that pain will be released and they can find some type of peace and freedom through those experiences. You want those good things for people. So when you see the narcissist crying, or you're seeing them upset, no matter how many times they haven't been there for you, you will be there for them. Even if they had just called you a name, or just treated you bad, or just hung up the phone on you, treated you really bad, and then all of a sudden, they're upset, or they're crying, and they're in a sad mood. They need you. They'll drive to your house miles and miles to get to you. They'll call you all day. They'll promise you things. They just need to reach you. They need you to feel sorry for them. And you're wondering, well, I guess they do love me. That's what you're thinking. I guess they do care about me. And the reality is, they care about themselves. They don't care about the crime they committed. They don't care about lying to you. They don't care about stealing, killing, all these things. They just don't care. They don't feel anything. They do feel pain. And I do feel that's the energy of darkness that they have accumulated and given themselves to. And I do believe that's why, that pain feels horrible, but they are like children. And when they're in those moods, they're not going to tell you the reality of why they're really upset. They might tell you that something's going on because in reality, something might be going on. But a lot of times, it's their karma. It's like everything is hitting them at once. And then on top of that, the people that they really need, their flying monkeys, are dying or going through something as well. And it's affecting them. The narcissist, they're an addict for attention. They don't care about you. They're an addict for attention. So when they're feeling like that, they need your attention, even if they're not giving you the reality of what's going on. And it's scary because they will look you in your eyes. They will cry and they will say, that they're here for you, that they have love for you. But it's just something about those moments when they're upset that, you feel sorry for them because you're a good person. But there's that inner you, your true self, that's like, screw that. Let them deal with whatever they're dealing with because they're not really here for me. They're crying for someone else. And you just get this feeling, and you might even ask them, hey, are you crying for someone else? Because you were just treating me bad. Like, what happened? And that's because while they're trying to devalue or discard you, and they have hoovered someone or they have a new supply, things aren't going as great as they thought. Maybe the new supply has caught on to their schedule or caught on to them, having another relationship besides you, or besides, they're catching on to little things. They might go to the narcissist's home and realize that they never sleep there. They might start catching on to things, and, as they devalue you, they're putting up an act with someone else. And a lot of times when you're questioning things, as much as they have this attitude of, I'm going to do whatever I want while you're at home, or you're upset, or you're crying, or I'm giving you the silent treatment, I'm going to be sleeping awesome. They give you that attitude, and their lies just start catching up to them, or this new supply starts to treat them the way they've been treating you all of a sudden. And that's also part of their karma. And a lot of times that's when it hurts them and it hits them, and it's like, oh, dang, well, let me go to my primary supply. It's like they're throwing this tantrum, and you will feel the energy. You will feel the energy. You will feel as if, why does this person treat me bad? And then they come begging for my attention, but they'll come with a dramatic story. Something happened to them. They victimize themselves. I'm going through a lot of things, and that's why I've been acting like that. So they'll blame their circumstances according to their behavior. But the reality is, even when you're with them, there's always chaos. And what's the difference between when you're with them and there's chaos, and when you're not with them? It's the fact that they're keeping lies, secrets. A lot of times, the closer you get to the narcissist, the more you get to know them, they start to reveal their true colors. They can't keep it in for too long. And once the mask just starts slipping more and more, or you become more conscious of what's going on, and you're starting to not allow that person to question your reality, because they will call you names, they'll call you dumb, they'll call you all these things, they'll tell you you don't know anything about anything. And, then you'll listen to them talk to other people, and you listen to how they agree with other people about the same things that you talk about, or how you will make plans to do certain things, and they have the energy to make those plans with other people, or they might act like they're not listening to you a lot of times, but somehow they're doing things according to the things that you've done or you've taught them, or it's like they're watching your every move as much as it seems like they're not. Everything, even when it comes to anything, cooking, anything, any skill that you might have, the narcissist is always willing to take skills from people. And, when you're just stealing skills, or you're or stealing personalities, characteristics, even the way someone laughs, I realize that too. I'm just one of those people that I like smiling, I like laughing, and people, will always compliment me on that. They're always, telling me, hey, she's, they'll say, oh, she's always laughing. Look at, as soon as she walks in the room, I know it's her because she has this laugh and she's always giggling. And I just, that's the energy that I get. And when the narcissist, listens to things like that from others, and they see that you're getting any type of attention, they're going to instantly take those characteristics that you have and use those things to benefit them. Or if you have ideas or you have strategies about the way you do things in order to succeed, they're going to take all those things in order to survive, of course. And they're not going to thank you in the end. They're not going to thank you for wiping their tears. They're not going to thank you for being there for them when they look like they were in desperation. They're going to basically look at you like, yeah, I did. You were there for me, but I don't care because I'm just, this little kid in a big adult's body, and I was just throwing a tantrum because I wasn't getting what I wanted in that moment. But I didn't really need to be around you. I didn't really need you to wipe my tears. I didn't need your empathy. But yeah, I know that you were giving it to me, and I know that it was fueling me and it was making me feel good, but you shouldn't expect anything from me just because I was with you and you were nice to me. You shouldn't expect anything from me. That's their attitude, and you're kind of like, well, I thought your brother died. That's why I was there for you. And they're just like, I don't care. Oh, so now you want something, or and it's not that. You're just like, well, I'm going through something, like maybe my parent died, so I was just expecting you to be there. And that's why then you start thinking to yourself, well, when this person was upset, the inner me told me something wasn't right, or the story didn't add up, or the inner me told me, like, it seems like they're upset because they didn't get their way. Because the way they throw tantrums and cry, it's like watching a little kid that is envious of their sibling, or they're envious of someone else getting attention, and they're just throwing a tantrum, and you're just calming them down. But after they calm down, they're kind of like, get out of my house. This isn't your house. Like those kids that just throw tantrums and they're like, get out of my house. That's literally how a narcissist is. It's like, they're not telling you why they're really upset. They're throwing tantrums, and they're expecting you to give them empathy. Everything's about them. So when you think about it, in the end, Every little thing was always about them. It was never about you. Now you will notice that there's an exchange of energy. And now, because they didn't empathize towards you, but you're empathizing towards them, that anger that they're expressing to you, it's building into you. And now you're expressing your anger. And this is where they're just dismissive, no empathy. And now they've dumped all this negative energy on you and have stolen light from you. And that's why your inner you was trying to warn you, because your inner you knew you were going to feel like this. Anytime they showed empathy, anytime they told you they needed a friend, every time they told you that everyone in their life is full of drama and problems, it's really them. It's really them. And when people don't have the energy to give to them, they come to you to get that energy. And once you give it to them, they're like, thank you. I didn't really need your energy, but thank you. And I don't owe you anything. Yes, I took from you. Yes, you've given me your kidney and you've given me a lot of things, or you gave me a place to stay, or you, gave me a ride to work so that I can get my own car. Anything that you ever do for a narcissist, they don't care. They feel like they deserved it. They feel as if you chose to do it, and if you didn't want to do it, you shouldn't have done it. And if you didn't want to deal with them, you shouldn't have dealt with them. They don't care that they've lied to you. They don't care if they've cheated. They don't care if they stole. They don't care about your feelings. They don't care about the years you've put in. They don't care about anything related to you, anything related to anyone, anything related to their kids. That's why you see some of these narcissists that, like, the relationship ends and, everything is fine until you move on, and now they come back and they end up killing your children. And it's like they wanted a hold on you, and now they're seeing that, hey, I can't use my kids. This is why you'll see that some of these narcissists that talk bad about their exes or the children's mothers, they'll talk bad about their boyfriend. Automatically it's like, oh yeah, that's my ex's husband, that's my ex's boyfriend, he's a cornball, he is a loser, and he's this, he's that. And in reality, they might have just got lucky, and now they have someone good and they've moved on with their life. And now you'll see that when they talk to their children, they're like, oh, how's your mom doing? What's your mom up to? And it's like, you were just talking bad about her. You were just bashing her to everyone. And that's the thing about the narcissist, is that they bash you to other people. But then, they might tell their friends and the people around them, I'm not in a relationship with him or her, or I'm just using him. He's my sugar daddy, or, I'm just using her. They're giving these people this perception of you. They're telling these people that they disrespect you and all type of things. But when they're with you and they're love bombing you, they're not telling people that. They're not telling people that part. They're not telling people how they've even shed tears. They're not telling people that they're stalking you, that they're coming to your car, and that they're driving by your house, and they're coming to your job, and they're stealing your address from your ID. They're looking at your name on your ID. You got to watch these bouncers and all these people out here, because they'll look at your ID. They'll see the places that you hang out at. They'll spy on you. You might see them a lot. You might work with them. So they feel as if, hey, you know me, you work with me. I'm the nice guy. And some of these people you work with, they might be attractive. They might seem like they have a nice personality. They might smile a lot. And it's literally a wolf in sheep's clothing. They might tell you that they're having problems in their marriage. They might say so many things to you. But one thing I will tell you is that when the narcissist is crying, they're really crying wolf. When the narcissist when they're upset or they're acting as if the world is against them, or they keep talking about their family and their family is doing this and their family is doing that, don't fall for it, because think about it, especially as an empath, if you have a narcissist family, there's only so much that you're going to be able to take, until that relationship or your trust or your loyalty or your love just starts to change, especially for, family, the people closest to you. A lot of these narcissists talk bad about their families, talk bad about their moms, but in reality, they're gossiping with their mom, they're gossiping with their sisters and their brothers, and they're gossiping with these people. If your family were evil people and they try to relate to you in many ways, or they try to tell you stories so you can feel bad, but in reality, the narcissist is a selfish person. Their family knows it. A lot of the people in their family have the same characteristics, and they're able to function together. They can fight, make up, and things like that. But the narcissist will attack you, attack your family, take you away from your family, make you resent the people around you, make you resent your friends. They'll, cry to you and act like, it's just all about you and them. But there's no plans, there's no future, there's no love there. And, in the end, they'll look at you and they'll just be like, yeah, I know I lied, but there's no love lost. Yes, I know, but I've showed you many times, in their eyes, it's like they don't care how many times you've been there for them. That was supply. You're supply. You're the person that, basically they need as a counselor almost. It's like you're their personal coach. You're always there. You're just there. And they're like, I have someone that's there for me. So now I have the courage to go out and meet new people. I have the courage and the freedom to go to work and not feel, have confidence, because I have someone that cares about me and loves me and has empathy for me, and, the moment that they've moved on or they feel as if they've elevated or anything, you will see that if you're going through those things, it's like they're basically going to find a way to devalue you and discard you in those moments. And they'll, look at you as if, hey, don't expect me to make you feel good, or don't expect me to save you, or don't expect me to, they'll make it seem as if you're weak, or you're a weak person just for wanting someone who's positive. And you're not expecting anything from these people. You're just expecting them to give you the same amount of positivity. And that's what I don't respect about narcissists, is that, there's men that have, we all have choices. We all have choices, of course. The thing I don't like about the narcissist is that they take your choice away. And by the time you realize it, or by the time you took so many losses and you realize that, they don't feel bad about it automatically. And what I think is so heinous about just so disrespectful, evil about the narcissist is that they are kind of like, okay, well, now that you've, as you're peeling that the layers, and, they're kind of like, okay, well, you're still here, and all I did was tell you I love you, and you're still here. You've peeled another layer, from me, but you still don't know me, but you peeled another layer. Let's see how many layers you're going to peel before you decide to leave. And that's how they're looking at you. And the more deviant that it gets, because you're not thinking it's going to get more evil than this, or it's going to get more worse, but it does get worse. And they don't care about your tears. So as it's getting worse, now you're so defeated that you're just like, okay, I'm going to accept that you're doing these things, but I'm just going to try to imagine or give myself this fantasy that you're not who I know you really are. I'm just going to pretend that you're not this monster that you show me. I'm going to pretend that you're that nice guy that you're playing with someone else now. I'm going to pretend you're that person, and I'm going to fight for that person. And the narcissist just will have this smirk because they know that they have overstepped their boundaries, and now they have made you overstep your boundaries. And now you've committed so many sins that you're just like stuck in this addictive, sinful nature, and you feel guilty for leaving. You feel guilty because you feel like you've made so many mistakes, or you feel like you don't know who you are or how to recover from the pain. And, you're still searching to have that shoulder to cry on, because you're like, look, I put all my boundaries down, for you. I'm throwing the red flag. And the narcissist basically feels as if, they won. And then they feel as if it's kind of like, trying to sue someone for giving them gifts during the relationship, expensive ones, and realizing everything was fake. And you're like, well, I want the wedding ring back because you never wanted to get married, and that narcissist is like, well, I'm not giving you the ring back. I worked so hard for you to give me this ring. I didn't care to get married. I just wanted something expensive out of you. And you're just like, why would you do this for years over a ring? That's literally how you look at it, because the narcissist, they'll find anything bad about, any trait that they don't like about you, even from the start. They'll hold on to that trait for the rest of the relationship. No matter how many years you're with them, they'll always bring up something from the past. Yet they don't want you bringing up anything that they do. They could have done something really unloyal a week ago, and they expect you just to move on really fast from things. And that's because they don't care. They use people. People are just supply. Supply is just someone to make them feel as if they're sane. They want to make themselves feel as if they're the stable ones. They're in control. They're powerful. You're dumb. You don't know anything. They need to have that, I'm big, you're small. They need to have that. And they can't just go around treating people that way. So the more you know them, they'll treat you that way. And, then they'll be like, oh, other people don't treat me this way. I don't treat other people this way. And they'll throw it in your face. And what you're not understanding is that you're giving them the fuel to treat others better. And the faster you cut the cord, the quicker they will show those intentions with other people. Now, the challenge is going to be when they do come back. It could be a year later. It could be years later, because these people burn bridges with everyone. And the more they've hurt you and they know that you're smart, they actually know you're very intelligent. That's the the crazy part, because when they're acting crazy and insane and word salad, and they're trying to pick arguments, they're trying to make a big deal out of anything, because at this point you figured them out. They can go to the store and buy certain objects, and you already know what they bought, because they have a routine of how they do things. Their demeanor changes, and it's almost like you can read their mind. Once you can read their mind and have that connection with them, whether it's an unhealthy connection, it's still a connection. And once you have that connection and you know that there's no way that they're literally being hysterical, and you have that look of disgust in your face when they're acting like this and they're looking at you with hate, you're kind of like, what is going on? Like, what would make you say and do these things? Because I haven't done anything. And it's all, reverse psychology, you guys. They're trying to put all their negative emotions and feelings and traits onto you, the energy field. They're trying to exchange energies, and then they leave. And that's why a lot of times you feel empty and you feel disgusted and you feel bad and you have all these different emotions, and you're like, I don't know who I am. And that's because a lot of times that energy is there, and that energy is not your energy, and it feels disgusting. And you realize, oh, this is what happens when you stay with them. This is what happens the longer you stay with them. Oh, this is how you transfer energy. Oh, this is how this person took my energy. And it's not just having a disease or having some type of malfunction or having, anxiety or these things. It's like not just physical. It's like, oh, it's a spiritual pain. And when they see you in that pain, they're like, oh, see, I did that. Oh, see, now you know what I feel. But they're causing that pain. And you're kind of like, well, what did I do to deserve this? And what you did is you realized what was going on and you kept going back. What happens is that the more you know and you keep going back, the more you will suffer, the more pain you will feel. And it's easy to say these words and just say, oh, well, one day I'll heal, or one day when I decide to leave them, I'll heal. Let me tell you something. The pain gets worse and it's harder to get rid of. So for you young girls that are with these men, just know that all the stuff, the diabolical stuff, the drugs, the weed, everything that you're doing that you're just careless about, or you feel like, oh, one day I'm going to stop doing all this. It's just, I'm young, I'm supposed to be doing this. All those things, it comes with a prize. And by the time that you realize it, the narcissist will be with the next new thing. And, you will be like, well, what did I get out of this? Or, all I got out of it was a kid, and they don't even care about me. And they know that I'm basically torturing myself every day because I have to raise this child alone, They just want to make sure that they leave their supply feeling tortured, incapable of feeling like they can move on. And when you do move on, or you are doing good things for yourself, this is why they come around. They want to be part of the family. And, as long as you keep giving a narcissist access and letting them overstep your boundaries, they'll keep doing it. They'll violate you. They'll physically violate you, mentally, everything, spiritually. And it chips at your soul. And that damage that it does to your soul, it's a different type of damage. And it will bring out all the traumas from your past. And then you'll be living in the past. You'll be reliving the past every day. And it will literally feel like hell. Until you find yourself and build a better heaven and separate yourself from these people or any connections, any ties, because most of these people are connected to them, and all the people from your past or all the people that have done you wrong will find ways to connect with these people, and it will seem like a horror movie. So, do not fall for the narcissist tears, the cries, the emails, I know I'm messed up. I know I'm wrong, or I know I have problems, or we have to go to therapy. All of that stuff, just cut it. It's not real. It's literally a fantasy that this person is playing with you. They're literally playing with your emotions. They're like, yeah, I'm going to walk around your house. Yeah, I'm going to drink the last of your Kool-Aid. I'm going to walk around naked. They're just like, I'm going to live my life, do what I want, and you're just going to deal with it. They'll have moments where they're going to act like they're in despair, or they're scared to lose you, or they'll be extra nice to you. And it's not because they want to be nice to you. It's because they need good people around. They don't like bad people, although they love, doing things with bad people so that they can, get any source of supply to a narcissist. They don't care whether it's good or positive or negative, but their whole thing is, if they're getting any type of energy from you, and they don't care. And you can say, well, why would you do this? Or why would you lie to me? Why would you catfish me like that? You can keep asking why, but you're never going to get an answer, because you're dealing with someone who's bored. They're literally bored human beings, restless, deviant type of people. They'll do this to you for years. They're selfish. They're cruel. They all they do is come into your life to destroy you. They play a good game. I'm going to cook for you. Oh, I love cooking. Cooking is my thing. I love music. Music is my thing. I love poetry. Oh, I love traveling. I want to travel with you. Let's go out to dinner. Let's go out to this nice restaurant, 5-star, Ruth Chris. They'll do all those things. Contact you out of nowhere after a breakup. Hey, let's meet up for dinner. We don't have to get together or be together. I just want to get together for dinner. Remember how they treated you. Always remember when the narcissist is crying or they're in despair, knocking at your window, knocking at your door, knocking at the heart, knocking at your soul, trying to get back in. Remember what they said to you. Remember how they treated you. Remember how they treated you in front of other people. Remember all the times that you caught them lying, but they ran off to other people and said that you were lying. Remember all the times that they made up stories, or they might have even, planted a whole tale right in front of you. Literally told you, oh, I'm going to deceive my friend right now. Watch this. And the narcissist, you guys, they're dirty people. Even with their own friends, their narcissist friends, they'll try to sleep with their narcissist friends, girlfriends and wives, and they'll try to do the same thing to them, and they'll still remain friends. These people are nasty. Not good people, bad people. They'll act concerned for you, for the narcissist, but in reality, they're all playing a game. Every single one of them, the mom, the friend, everyone. Don't fall for it, you guys. Do not fall for the hoover, please. I know, especially in the beginning when, you're constantly breaking up, getting back together, and the cycle is fresh and you're becoming addicted. That high you get at the start of the relationship, after a while, that high, being intimate with them, all that stuff is going to die down. It's going to feel like you've been on this drug for too long and you need to quit, but you just can't quit. It's going to feel like, I know I'm this drug, this narcissist is killing me. It's burning my insides. It's burning a hole on my throat. Like, I know it's killing me, but because I don't see it. I just can't see it the way that I'm supposed to see it. I know what is happening to me. I know who this person is, but I feel paralyzed. I feel weak. When they come running, I run to them. It feels like love. It feels like I've been here before. I feel like they're my soulmate, my twin flame. It's all an illusion. And they'll be calling you the delusional one. They'll actually call you weak because they're actually they might even be shocked that they have so much control over you. I mean, they've done it before, but they're like, dang, I'm good. I didn't know I had this kind of power, but I did know I had this kind of power. But it's you being upset, crying, or trying to figure out why, or trying to, get any type of empathy for them. It's a slap in the face. Do not believe them. Do not take them back. Do not believe them when they tell you that they haven't been with anyone else and they've been thinking about you and they weren't raised right. Whatever stories they give you, they're lies. Everything is a lie. Everything is calculated. They're playing games. They're coming back playing games. They're playing games with everyone. They're literally playing games with everyone. I don't care how long they've been around you, how long you've been married, how long they've been staying at your house, where they're at most of the time. These people are serial cheaters, everything liars. And it's funny, before I end this video, but I don't know if you guys remember this show called Unsolved Mysteries, but it's a really old show and it has all kinds of things and talks about, it's like a crime show, but then there's spiritual aspects to it and, psychic abilities, all type of things. And, there was an episode where basically there was this man that was marrying multiple women, moving from state to state, living with them, moving in with them, love bombing, the cooking and everything. I'm going to make you a big steak with garlic and butter and, the whole shebang. And that was his whole thing, going from woman to woman, sometimes not having a job, just doing, simple things underneath the table. And it was so many women that just were in debt, financially, like this person messed them up. And it's something about watching those old shows where the women seemed so classy. The way they dressed was classy. The way they spoke was classy and intelligent. And I really respect that. And when I watch those shows and I see how intelligent a lot of these women were, but you can tell that they were naive. A lot of them were taught to be submissive to a man and, in those times, women were barely beginning to work and have jobs and things like that. And they were starting to look at the world in a different light, because, things were changing. And as soon as these women started to work and being dependent, these men became dependent on them. And I find it weird looking at these shows and seeing how classy these women were and how, they had the courage to go out, finally go to school, get these degrees, become a nurse, or, just hold a job. And here are these men, and I'm looking at the man that was, conning these women, and he was ugly. He wasn't an attractive man. And I guess every time he got caught and went to court, they couldn't really do much, about, because these women, they bought these narcissists and did these things out of love. You can't take, you can't take, someone to court and get that much out of them, for materialistic things, but it seemed as if the man had served like 3 months in jail or something like that. It seemed like he wasn't really going to jail for a long time, and they had a record of all the relationships, I guess, that have sued him. And they're showing a picture of this man from when he was young to when he was old. And, they're like, oh, the last time, he conned someone, it was in 1982. And, they're showing a picture and he's like an old man. And they're like, this is the last time. And we're pretty sure this is still his game. It's still his game. The narcissist might get older, but they're always going to seek for supply, even if it means getting with someone, older just like them, and finding someone who is by themselves and, committing to be that person's friend. They might tell this, they might get old and move in with this person and say, hey, let's just be roommates, keep each other company, and this is where even some people will come and visit their grandmas and they're like, who is this guy? Where did you come from? These people, you guys, they're dangerous. Once they're in your home, it's hard to get them out. And even if you get them out, they're not just going to leave. They're going to be very vengeful. They might love bomb you, and they're like, well, you kicked me out your house before, so I'm going to love bomb you. The moment I come back to your house and I'm deceiving you, I'm going to do something to hurt you even more. They're constantly plotting on you. It's like you don't even feel like you're dealing with a man. You don't feel like you're dealing. You feel like you're dealing with a woman. Sometimes you feel like you're dealing with a kid. It's like you don't know what you're dealing with. You're just dealing with someone who has a lot of different spirits in them from different people, and different people they sleep with that are narcissists just like them. So I just wanted to end that video on that note and warn you guys about, trusting these type of people, because even if they're crying, even if you're watching tears, don't feel bad for them. Do not hug them. Do not comfort them, because they will turn around and spit on your face, you guys. So I'll talk to you guys on the next one. Love you guys. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Bye.